Hello coders, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is super hot at the moment. Really, really hot in the UK. So hot. So I'm going to be taking a lot of breaks today to chill and get some hydration in. Today what I would like to do is work on the courses page. Because I've added a couple of things to that I would like to move around design-y type kind of way. So that's what we're going to play with today. I haven't got things set up yet, so bear with me whilst I sort all of those things out. Let's get into the code. It's going to be a bit of a chilled stream today. Chilled stream, I think. One of those streams where if it doesn't go the way I want it to go, it's no biggie. No biggie. Right. First up, what's going on with the old status of things? Because I have been working on this in evenings. Okay, so we added a test, which I haven't committed. Let's do that now. And I suppose what I should do is I should run these tests. Yeah, let me run the tests first, and then because I did a bunch of work last over the evenings last week, and I can't remember what I did. So let me just run through all the tests and see. And I tell you what we need to do is actually get the Docker machines working. Yeah, that's what we need to do. I told you today's going to be a bit of a chilled out one. This is actually going to be the last stream I do for about a week. So I'm taking next week off. So there's not going to be any Twitch or well, there'll possibly be a Twitch next Sunday. So possibly, I'm still yet to decide whether or not to take next Sunday off, but there won't be any YouTube stuff going next week, so there won't be a podcast, and there won't be a live stream on YouTube on next Tuesday, because I'm just taking the week off. I'm also coming off of social media too, so I won't be on Twitter. So if you're going to send me a direct message next week, because I frequently get DMs. So if you send me a DM next week, I won't pick it up. I literally won't see it. Or if I'm coming off, but only for a week. Okay, so I need to do evaluate of that. Docker ps-a. Awesome. Let's bring everything up. And then let's run those tests, make sure everything is tasty and good. Whilst that goes on, I will talk about what it is that I want to do. And we'll move into our 15-minute rule as well when we get to that point. Let me just do a make tests, and then once I'm happy with everything, I'll send up a PR. Get the back end to get the GitHub actions to test it all out. So I suppose I could show what it is that I'm thinking of doing. Bring up the site. Okay, so what I'm thinking of doing when we get to, say, I don't know, a PHP course, for instance. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Let's click on that. It's going to be slow because I'm hammering the tests as well as clearing the cache and doing all sorts of things. Yeah, so what I've added the other evening was learning outcomes. This is actually a list of outcomes, recommended knowledge, and related courses. And what I ideally want to do is just completely alter this page to bring them all into, better fit. And what I would like essentially is to have this on the right hand side, have these down on the left hand side as like little, not boxes, but groups. So you would have your learning outcomes. So you'd have this is your description, and you can imagine this being a couple of lines long. In fact, I might create like a Lorem Ipsum stuff where we've got several paragraphs to play with. And then you got the learning outcomes, and then you got your recommended knowledge, and then you got related courses underneath. And then on the right hand side you have a list of all the of the tutorials, and then you've got this GoPro sort of early access stuff. And then above here we can play around with this too. I think that's probably what I want to do. I think that's as far as my plan. So yeah, we'll give that a go. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm not going to be overly concerned. Today is so hot that if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. So we'll let the tests run through. That's all good. And then yeah, we'll have a look at the HTML whilst this is going on. I've noticed this with PHP Stan. When you run it off of the command line, like when you do your commits and stuff, there's a little delay, like a little lag in the file system. So that was green, and then it went eventually went white. Anyway, so I'm thinking of doing something it's not in SRC, it's in templates, and it's on the courses page, that's in front end, and then in course on the index page. This is where I'm thinking of doing it. So we got our prerequisites here, we got our related courses down here. Now with the related courses, what would be nice is to have like a box of related courses. At the moment we can see that there's two, PHP structures and PHP strings. So like on a float left, well, we actually have the image and then the title or something, but we'll see. And then so we got learning outcomes, we've got prerequisites, and the thing that is interesting is that these are optional. So if the length is over 0, so these aren't like street furniture where this will always be there. There's possibilities where this won't be there. And then down here you've got the courses, so this needs to be completely rearranged really. And then this, you've got the course content, and then up here you've got the, I guess you would call it the header space. I think what we're going to do today is just worry about this and not worry too much about that, or maybe we will later. So it's just from this point on. So like I said, I want this to be on the right hand side, and I want this to be like your learning outcomes sort of in the middle, and then recommended knowledge below, and related courses below that. Related courses could span the whole width if it goes underneath this, perhaps, I don't know. I tell you what, let's have a look at one that has a lot of tutorials. That's probably a good one to go, because there'll be different heights and different widths of things. This GoPro thing I might put up here somehow, so get it out of the way. Am I now doing I'm doing integration tests now, aren't I? Yeah, that means the database is going to get removed. That's probably why it's going to screw up. So I will stop this, because that's going to just die otherwise. So whilst this is going on, let's create a markup that is kind of what we're looking for. I think what I should do is create a new twig template here, just so I don't interfere with and we'll call this index/prototype. Just so we've got something to play with. Now, let's imagine all of this goes. Actually, tell you what, let's just start it from scratch. So let's get all of this out. There we go, all of that out, and all of that. Let's just get rid of all of this stuff. We do need to have that extends though. Right. So in the body, essentially what we need is our container, right? If we did this properly, then we would have an aside for the, if we were to say that was on the right, the tutorials. So let's do, oh, I see an error. Okay, let me deal with that in a minute. So we have our tutorials, then down here we have our section, and that section could be learning outcomes. So you would have a section header. Whoops. Learning outcomes. Then you would have, and then you would have your UL li. This would be like outcome 1. That would be like outcome 2. Whoops, sorry, wrong shortcut key. Outcome 2, outcome 3. Then you would have another section, and that would become, so that would be main. And then down here you would have another section where we have our required knowledge. I'm calling it required knowledge over prerequisites because I think that makes more prerequisites is obviously the correct terminology, but I think required knowledge sounds better from a copy point of view. Required knowledge, so let's do knowledge 1, knowledge 2, knowledge 3, and then let's do another section where we have related courses, right? Now these are going to be in their own sort of cards, right? So you would have a div, class, related course card. I'm just playing with markup at the moment. That's all I'm doing right now. So that would be 1, that would be 2, and that would be 3. Okay, let's go and fix the fail. That is the well, let's finish this off. So on your side, you would have an the header here would be course contents, right? Course contents. And so this would be like lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3. All right. Right, let's just fix these things here. So this looks like 2 errors. So what I'm going to do is just do a git stash save u, and we'll do, because I'll probably have to do this in another branch, markup changes. All right, let's take a look at these tests then. So there's 2. These are command tests. There's been an error. Entity manager has been closed. Oh. I think I know what that is. In tests, there is an issue with one of these tests, and I forget which one. Is it that one? One of them needs to be skipped because it's screwing up. I think it might be that one. Let's just skip that for a second. I tell you what, let's just run. Let's do make test command. Let's just run the commands again. There's something wrong with the way in which I'm dumping the database back to the after each test. So yeah, I think it's that one. Stripe session completed command. So it's this one. Let's comment that one out. What happens is, something goes wrong. I'm yet to work it out. It's going to take me a long time to sort of sort that through. So we're just going to skip it, and we're skipping the other one. Okay, git commit minus so skipping broken test. All right. So, yep. What I'll do is I will then do a. Yeah, we've just done a Git push, right? So let's go to GitHub. Ah, man. It's so hot. Let me sign in. Ah, right. Let me put in my auth code. Two seconds whilst I put in some secret stuff. Here we go. Alright, let's get back to that. Oh, man, it's so warm. I'm not complaining, I love it. But it's just like it was raining not a couple of days ago. And now it's like we were in Miami a few years back. And it is as hot as it was in Miami now. Okay, there we go. Let's do a pull request on this. Let's just see what I did. Yeah, so... Oh yeah, I changed the Xdebug mode. I'm going to probably need to change that back, right? Yeah, let me do that. Damn. Let's get into... I need some way of changing this on the fly, I think. Maybe getting some sort of, maybe even doing like a GitHub action step where it's not that, is it? It's in where is it, Pete? Where is it? It's in Docker Compose. Down here. Xdebug config. Change that to be off. Yes. I need some way of getting this to automatically change when I do a push. Maybe set the environment variable or something through GitHub Actions. Turning off Xdebug. Sweet. Okay. Has that been changed? Ah, Git push. Stupid fingers. Okay, so what I did was I set up the... Oh, I removed some things. I removed this from the course manager, registration manager. I removed that from the course view manager. Yeah, I did a bunch of tidy up work. And I also updated, I started to adjust these because we're on PHP 8, so named attributes, and then I wrote some tests. That's right, I was writing some tests, and as I was writing some tests, I was working through some bits, and I decided to just tidy the code up as I was there. Okay, that's cool. That'll do. Right, whilst that's doing its thing, we will git commit or git checkout main. Just pull anything down. I don't think there's anything new. Git checkout. We're going to do a new feature here, which is course page markup. Or just call it course page. There we go. Just call it course page. Right, then we do git stash apply, because we want to apply the thing that we just stashed, which is our prototype. So GitHub Actions will go through all of that stuff, do the tests and stuff for us, which is nice. So let's go over to here. Sorry, not there. Here. And continue down this road. Okay, so we've got the main, we've got a section here called Learning Outcomes, and then we got the required knowledge. So really, there's going to be another section to this. And this section is going to be called... It's not really going to be called anything, it's just going to be a P. And that P is going to be... paragraph with lorem ipsum. Lorem ipsum? Can't even spell it. Lorem ipsum. Lorem ipsum generator. Just want to grab some stuff. Reject all. Reject all. Yeah, so we'll grab that. And we'll paste that in there. And we'll grab another paragraph. And we'll paste it underneath. Let's say there's 2 paragraphs per. There we go. And then, so underneath this, then you've got your learning outcomes, and then you've got your required knowledge, and then you've got your related courses, and then you've got your course header, course contents. So that's on this side. Okay. I just want to check a couple of things from the old HTML main. Just want to make sure I'm using the right elements. MDM. Okay, the main HTML element represents the dominant content of the body of a document. The main content area consists of content that is directly related or expands upon the central topic of a document. Okay, a document mustn't have more than one main element that doesn't have the hidden attribute specified. Oh. Mustn't have more than one that doesn't have. The content of main element should be unique to the document. So are we saying there should only be one? I think so. Okay, so if we are running this off of extending off of front base, I think front base has main, right? Am I right in saying that? Yeah, it has main. So what we'll do is we won't have that as main. Let me do a quick recap of what section is. Okay, the section HTML element represents a generic standalone section of a document which doesn't have a more specific semantic element to represent it. Sections should always have a heading. That's what we're trying to do here. So we have our introduction, section, criteria. Yeah. I'm sure there is, though, a header, right? The header HTML element represents introductory content, typically a group of introductory or navigational aids. It may contain some heading elements, but also a logo, a search form, an author, and other elements. Oh, no. I've done that wrong. That should then be a H2. That's a H2 as well. That's a H2. I thought that was the case. H2, not N2. And that's H2. Am I right in thinking that needs to be a section like that? Because you could have more than one section within the side. Yeah, let's give that a blast. All right, let's do code. Let's do reformat code. There we go. So, sort of like that. If we had a look at this, for instance, if we were to hack up, create a thing for the whole blog, that section would be probably this bit at the top, because that's the no, it wouldn't be. It would be this bit, but there's no heading here, so maybe this section doesn't need to be here. Maybe there should be a div instead, because a section should have a header. So maybe this should be a div instead. And we give this class equals. Well, we're using Tailwind, so it doesn't really make a difference, but. It would be course copy, essentially. So this would be, I reckon this would be an article, these related courses. That should be related courses. Let me just double check if that's the case. I love MDN. It's just so... Right, the article HTML element represents a self-contained composition in a document page, application, or site, which is intended to be independently distributable or reusable, e.g. in syndication. Examples include forum posts, a magazine, a news article, a blog entry, a product card, okay, a user-submitted comment, an interactive widget or gadget. I reckon... So you've got an article here, class of forecast, and then you've got sub-articles, so you've got day forecast. Yeah, so I reckon this should be an article. And I think an article obviously needs to contain a H2 for the article name. So this would be course 1. Course 2 and course 3. A given document can have multiple articles in it. For example, a blog post that shows text of each article one after another. As the reader scrolls, each post would be contained in an article element, possibly with more than one section within. These examples here. So you got a film review, Jurassic Park, section main review, dinos were great, section user reviews. Then you've got an article. You got a footer here, which was the this stuff. So that's given me an idea with the footer. With these related courses, we could have footer. There's this time. I just want to see what that time tag is. Who cares about Internet Explorer? Okay, the time HTML element represents a specific period in time. It may include a datetime attribute to translate dates into machine-readable format, allowing for better search engines or results into a custom features. A time is a 24-hour clock, a precise date in the calendar here, or a valid time duration. Now that's what I'm thinking, because obviously these durations are durations of the course. A valid string duration representing a duration t if it consists of either the following: a literal or 1 digits followed by representing the number of days, characters representing a number of hours, representing a number of minutes. I think that is probably what we're after, isn't it? So would that be like 54 minutes or something? I'm not sure. Or maybe it is just, that's the Unicode, isn't it? ASCII digits. Wow, I've fallen down a rabbit hole, haven't I? Typical me. But still, I think this is a good idea. I just need to find an example. So that's a date time. Attributes, date time. The attribute indicates the time and or date of the element and must be in one of the following formats described below. Valid date time values: a year string, a month string, a date string, yearless date string, a week string, a valid time string. Ooh, look at that. That's what we need. Got it. That is for my sweet. So it'd still be date time. So it would be time, date time. And let's say like 005 505 54. So 5 minutes 54 seconds. As an example, it's course 2, and that's course 3. Marvelous. That's your lessons. We would also need to have image, img. I think that's cool. Section. Course copy. And if I was to visually see this, or just going back here, we would have, so that would be on the right hand side, and then you would have, this would be the course copy, and then you would have your learning outcomes underneath. This is a list, and then you would have recommended knowledge underneath. That would also be a list, and then you would have related courses. That would be underneath. That would be a list. Now, think about positioning here. Learning outcome. Well, this here. If we go over to DevTools and go into responsive mode. So, what I'm thinking is maybe have that, that on the right. Learning outcomes and recommended knowledge, I reckon, could go one after the other. So you've got learning outcomes sort of here, and then you've got a gutter, and then you've got recommended knowledge, because they're both lists. And then the related courses, I'm thinking you'll have so related courses would be a strip that just goes across this section here. We've got to keep the right hand side free for the course content, because if I went to a course that had more tutorials, I'll show you one that has a huge amount of tutorials. Eventually, when the site loads. Right, okay, so let's say, for instance, here we go, Docker for beginners. So really these should be the time tag too. We got more, we have more on here, so that would go there, then your learning outcomes would go here, your recommended knowledge would go here, and then the related courses, there's only one, but would go here, and it would probably be in the middle with related courses. I think that's alright. I think that's alright. Eventually, I wouldn't mind putting in like reviews and other things, but we're not there yet. What am I going to do with this bit? The GoPro. If that's on there, that's there. That's a bar. Does it need to be a bar though? Could we not? Yes, because it kind of does. Maybe this can go. I reckon we could probably do something with that sort of up here maybe. When we get to it. I'm only worried about this section, so maybe we should just forget about this for a minute. Let's think of how this is going to work on mobile. That would probably be wise before I start hacking into the positioning of things. So if we took a look at what it looks like on mobile here, what we could do is, so that would, the way this would be pushed down is this learning outcomes would be at the top underneath the course copy here. So we'd have learning outcomes underneath, and then you would have your related, you would have your recommended knowledge underneath that, underneath the learning outcomes, and then you would have the course content underneath that as well, and then you would have your related courses. So your related courses kind of needs to go at the end. Yeah, this is going to be tricky, right? Because if we're saying that that's an aside, or are we? If that's an aside, that kind of needs to go in the order of things. It kind of needs to go. Let's imagine that there's, that kind of needs to go up here. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to check on Murph, but I will be back straight away. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut this short because I need to look after the dog. He's not happy about something outside. But cool. I think we've got quite far, which is good. But anyway, I need to shoot off. I will be back in a few weeks' time. Take care. Cheers. Bye-bye.